Yo, what's going on, guys? So this is gonna be a little more low-key video. So this is gonna be my class for Royal Market Brokers Discord, which I'm not home, so I'm kind of pre-recording it. So I'm gonna kind of go over some reviews of my plays last week that I posted, and I'm gonna give some predictions on where the class is going. Where the market's going the next week. So last week wasn't great. So I did post another video on my YouTube. It's really helpful. So this is ES Spy, obviously, as you know. How did I know? So Thursday, it was very choppy, and if you look at the daily range, okay, we're in this giant range, so it is very, very hard to trade this. So if you did not trade this perfectly, don't feel bad. I had more losses than usual because of this chop. And you can still trade on like the 1 minute, 5 minute, but just swings is not really ideal. So you can clearly see where we've been stuck in this range for the past 2 weeks. Okay, what does this mean? Well, that means you want to go to 1 minute, 5 minute, and here's on Thursday. If you look on Thursday, you probably got chopped up. So this was Thursday, and I didn't alert any plays on Thursday. Okay, why? Well, it's kind of like key to know when to trade and when to not trade. And what I look for is displacement. So if you are getting wrecked on trades, then and you're like a retracement trader, breakout trader. If both retracement traders and breakout traders are both getting wrecked on trades, that means there's likely no displacement in the market, and that's really what you want to look for. If you don't know whether to stay out or not a day, like I think displacement is like the number one thing you guys should look for. So obviously on Thursday, look, you can see we went over this high barely. Again, no displacement under it though. We went under this low, reverse, no displacement. Went over this high, reverse, no displacement. Went under here, no displacement. Just it's more of a liquidity grab. Over this high, reverse, no displacement. So if you're seeing that we are going under lows and highs, but it's not energetic, okay, there's not really a shift in structure, then that really tells you to stay out of the market. Really retracement traders, what they look for is they look for a giant move up, okay? So obviously this had displacement, okay? So this had displacement. Why did we bounce here and hit liquidity, okay? Well, we had displacement, okay? So you can see we retrace and we bounce. But in all these, we retrace and we just hit the swing low after, okay? Same with this one. So if you're a retracement trader and you're not seeing bounces off these retracements, that likely means there's no displacement. You really, really want displacement. It's just, again, displacement is everything in this market, especially when you're sitting in a daily range such as this one. So you want to make sure there's displacement over highs and lows. If there's not, then I would really recommend you should probably stay out of the market. There's no displacement. Again, this is going to be your best bet to look for displacement, as I said. So what I think is going to happen, actually first let me show you a few plays. So this was one of my plays, 3862 to 3864 short. This was, I believe, on Wednesday. Let me just see if I can find where this was. Let's see here. I'm trying to find the exact date of this. So this is the 1 minute. For the sake of time, I'm not going to find this whatever, but I use a footprint chart, okay, and this area was stacked, okay, so I do footprint chart reviews for people in my premium Discord. I'll make sure to upload it for Royal Market Berkeley's Discord too. But there's a lot of sellers in here, which is why I shorted there. But I was cautious because at this point we already hit long-term liquidity, or we already hit external liquidity in the higher time frame. So the bias is kind of, it wasn't bearish, but it wasn't bullish yet. But we kind of got this giant move up, okay? See this displacement? So this is displacement over this high. So the chances of us hitting this low are very unlikely. So I got out quick for a quick 7 points. I was end up stopped runner break even. I don't know why I posted this chart again, but again, this is seek and destroy day I just reviewed. This is just a day where I wasn't alerting anything because we're getting no displacement over anything. The only veiled play I saw was this fair value gap projection, which I ended up taking by myself, but I got stopped out of because this went over this order block, which was unfortunate. So this is the play also Friday. You can see that I entered this on ES. So if we go to ES real quick, this was pretty textbook. So what you're gonna notice is the bias is bullish here. Why is the bias bullish? Well, we have this giant displacement off of non-forward payroll. We bounce off this fair value gap, and then we get a market structure shift back up for confirmation right here. Okay, so the bias is bullish. The target is here, but this fair value gap, it was stacked. Okay, and when I say stuff is stacked, I'll usually take the counter trend scalp if I have to. You can see we get right up into that area, and then boom, just totally rejection. Okay, and I end up scaling. Okay, I end up scaling most right here. This is where I personally would have longed, and this is where ICT longed himself. But I didn't want to reverse my position because we just came off a nice win. So 10 points is 10 points. 10 points is very good. You can make a living with 10 points. Can't express enough how good getting 10 points is. So I was mostly all out here just in case. I knew the bias was long, so I knew like we would probably bounce soon. So that's why I did get out there. And then you can see the BPR and NQ. So what I did is I actually alerted NQ by accident. And I realized this after. And I hope people assume that, because I've never actually traded NQ. I only alert ES. So I said, I show this BPR and NQ, okay? And it was kind of the same thing on ES. So I'm assuming people understood what I meant if obviously if they trade ES. So, but you can see NQ did go a quick 30 points off the BPR. But hopefully people understood that. I'm sure they did because I was talking in chat about it. But yeah, so obviously the bias is bullish here. For predictions and what I think is going to happen in the week is if we look at the daily, we just rejected this volume imbalance. So what I want to happen is if we fully reject this volume imbalance, okay, and let's say we dump hard before CPI because CPI is next week. Let's say we dump to like here, okay, this order block maybe. I would like to see CPI being bullish, which I won't be surprised if it is because I know prices have not gone up too much, and I know inflation hasn't got as bad as it was like 3 months ago. 377. So 100-point move off of CPI would make sense to this daily fair value gap. So this is one scenario that could happen. Okay, this is only if we dump on Monday. If we dump on Monday, if we dump up leading the CPI, then I'll expect CPI to be bullish. Okay, and I'll expect this to go here and then maybe rejection off of that. But that would be my prediction. My second prediction, okay. So that's an if-then. That's like an if-then statement. Like if you code, that's like an if-then statement. So let's say if we do pump on Monday, we pump to this daily fair value gap, we get to this like breaker block. I would expect CPI to be bearish, okay. The chart usually knows before the news. This isn't 100%, and I wouldn't recommend trading CPI, but this kind of gives us a bias. So if we're in here by the morning of CPI, then I'll expect a dump, okay? And if we do dump on CPI, these lows are my target. After these lows, I would be cautious of shorting until we get a retracement. But after that, I'll kind of be watching, and obviously my net bias right now is short to this low right here. That's my net bias right now, but that's kind of like what I expect to happen next week. If we pump on Monday, and we pump up the CPI, I expect CPI to be bearish, okay? And again, do not trade this because CPI, if we pumped up to this daily fair value gap, CPI could totally be bullish. I could totally be wrong. It's just kind of me like forming a game plan if we get what I get, okay? And this kind of helps me with my day trades that I do, okay? So I obviously day trade, and I don't trade CPI, so none of this matters, but this is what I would like to see, okay? So that's about all I have for right now. That's my predictions for the week. If you guys have any questions, let me know. ICT is starting to upload a 2023 mentorship series, so I definitely recommend watching that. Big shout out to him. But yeah, that's all I got right now. Enjoy the rest of your night, and peace.